All right. Episode 19, Horselick Review.
Do you have that story about atheism and Down syndrome? If you have that story, dude, I know we're doing a different
Today's going to be
episode,
more
but I want to hear that.
the hang, laid back. Might have a few stories, if anybody's got any good ones.
No, if he has that one, I want to hear that, dude.
So what's been going on, guys?
Nothing much, man. I finished that Conan book, that double feature thing I was telling you about, that had the guy wrote the first one in like 1995.
Oh, yeah.
Had the sequel written, and it's just now getting released because of book rights and stuff. That's really good. Honestly, dude, I really like what Titan is doing with the Conan stuff.
Sweet. I have that that adaptation of Conan the Destroyer written by Robert Jordan.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't read it yet, but I want to. But it's probably pretty good. Because Robert Jordan's a pretty good author.
It can't be worse than that movie. That movie's terrible.
The movie was fun, but it is terrible, especially compared to fucking Barbarian, man. Like, they did, what was it, like rated PG?
I think maybe PG-13, but the other thing that's disappointing, isn't the main bad guy Thothamon?
I don't think there was PG-13 rating back then.
Was there not?
I don't think so. It was just PG and then rated R. PG shit would have boobs in it. Like, I've seen some PG movies from, like, back in the day that had titties in it.
Let your parents guide you to the boobs.
Oh. Well, on a whim. That's why yesterday I asked you if you wanted to go, or the day before, or whatever. That concert was the shit, dude.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Where was it?
They sounded dead up like their albums.
Yeah.
These dudes are fucking crazy, man. I swear to God. Like, they have 22 or 23 albums since 2010.
You might want to say who you're talking about.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
I mean, I know, but...
Yeah. And they're like...
I knew too.
Whew. I mean, it was spectacular. And Akira ended up going with us. And
That's
it was
cool.
her first concert.
That's cool. How'd she like it?
And they played for 2 hours and 10 minutes, 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that. She loved it. And, like, they all, like, do singing parts. And, like, she was, like, super impressed with the keyboard player because he was doing keyboards. He was singing. He was playing tenor sax. He was playing harmonica. Like, they did, like, off this new album, their newest album they just released. It's got this, like, early 70s feel. It's kind of like my nephew, he said it gave him the feeling like Buffalo Springfield and shit like that.
Oh, Jack was there too?
Yeah. And so it's like real early 70s kind of rock sounding, this newest album. So they did some stuff off that. They did some really older stuff from like 2011, some of those albums. And then they did their metal shit. I can't even remember the names of the albums. There's so many of them. Like, and I recognize songs. I don't remember names of songs, but it's because they have so many. But it's like they did their metal stuff, which was spectacular. And then like after the metal stuff, they did the album that came out just before this one was like the drummer or somebody found these like somewhere these old keyboards and like synthesizers and shit. So they got a bunch. The whole album is just pretty much keyboards and synthesizers and drum machines. So at the end of the show, they pulled out this big ass table that had all the keyboards and the synthesizers and drum machines and everything, all like in a square table, all hooked up together. The drummer stayed on his kit, and they all got in front of the synthesizers and shit, started playing. And the main singer, the guy, I don't know if you've ever seen him, the guy with the curly hair, one of the main singers and guitarists, he put on this big bucket hat and these great big round sunglasses, like some old school like hip hopper or something. Whoa. And they're like all over at the table doing like their fucking synthesizer stuff, and like it was fucking cool, dude. It was pretty sweet.
So where were they playing?
Sweet.
It was at the Ascend Amphitheater in Nashville. So a big open. And they said they were going to play rain or shine because the weather could have been bad. So if it was pouring down rain, they were still going to play. So
yeah, I would have liked to have gone, man. I just had too much going on.
Yeah,
Gonna go see
Exodus.
Exodus.
It was a last minute thing. Like,
I'm gonna see Exodus in early November though,
that'd be cool.
which is cool.
You know, when he went to My nephew went to. Remember when I told you he saw Obituary with Carcass?
Yeah.
You know who was in that show?
Who?
It was. Oh shit! What was it? There was 4 bands. I can't remember one of them. He said it was fucking badass. But the other 3 bands were Obituary, Carcass, and Amon Amarth.
Well, see, that makes sense because like they were just out. They were out recently with Amon Amarth.
He said Carcass came out and played an hour straight.
Yeah.
Didn't stop. They didn't speak to the crowd. They didn't stop between songs. They didn't name songs. They just went from one song to the next and just played. And at the end, he said the singer said all their names and we're Carcass. Thank you, and they left.
Yeah.
Here's my business
He
card.
said they played every shit from Reek of Putrefaction all the way up to the new album.
This one. When I
There's
saw
artwork.
Obituary, it was just it was pretty much just Obituary. Because who did I see? I'm trying to remember who I saw. I saw right around the same time, like a month before or a month after, I saw Gorguts, Immolation, and Mayhem all together.
I saw Morbid Angel.
Cannibal Corpse was there too.
Sweet. Saw Morbid Angel with Napalm Death. And that's when, work that day. And
Michael broke something.
yeah, I
No,
had
you
my
didn't break
arms crossed.
something, but
I'm
you
sorry.
got
I was
fucked
to the
up.
side. I wasn't in the pit. I had my arms crossed enjoying the show. Barney jumps out of the pit at me. I'm just shell shocked. He
You didn't catch him. He got
Didn't
kind of
catch
pissed
him.
at you.
No, I had my arms crossed. So he falls. He's on his knees.
He's too cool to catch him.
Yeah. I don't know you, Barney.
He's like, this big fucking dude will catch me.
Yeah. Like I said, I just got off work too. I'm tired. I have a real job, Barney. Actually, I worked at Papa John's, so at the time.
Hey, man, I'm pretty sure that's a real job.
Better ingredients, better pizzas.
No, I'm talking about Barney's job.
Oh, yeah, it was a real job. It's a cool job. But anyway, he landed on the floor. He's on his knees. He uses my shirt to claw himself back up, and I can hear him. He's like, ah! So he gets back up on stage. He's like, well, at least I have all my teeth. And so I uncrossed my arms for the last.
I'm assuming he's British. I couldn't
he's
really tell
British.
with that
They're
really
from
shitty impression.
I can't do European accents.
I got to meet
I can barely do an American accent.
Tony Foresta once from Iron Reagan. We were in Indianapolis. He was hanging out before the Skeleton Witch was there, and I don't give a fuck because they were the main act, and I think Skeleton Witch sucks.
Skeleton Witch?
Yeah, I think
Too skinny.
I'm never listening to him.
they're
listening
trash.
to him.
I've seen them twice. I saw them open for Amon Amarth the first time. They sucked, and then we left after Iron Reagan because they were the.
Are they one of those bands that just suck live?
I just think they suck, dude. I don't care for it. I mean, it's just
Just not your cup of tea.
It's just sort of bland and generic.
Yeah.
but
I think I've ever heard them.
But no, man, we were. I got to meet him. We were talking to him. He's like, I was like, oh, dude, we drove up from Owensboro to see you. He's like, oh, that's cool, man. Owensboro, where the fuck is that?
Is that how he talks?
Yeah, he sounds like that, dude. He almost sounds like Sebastian Bach, dude. Yeah, what's going on, man? I love that dude's voice.
All right, well, let me try. At least I have all my bloody teeth in
No,
that.
that's okay.
That's what he did.
Then we don't need any more.
I can't even remember what he sounds like. I can't even remember what Barney sounds like when he's not singing, dude.
Like a British.
I know he sounds British, but
all
there's
the
a
same.
thousand
I'm
different
just kidding.
accents.
Hey, was Bill playing with Napalm? Bill Steer playing with Napalm Death at that time or no?
No.
Because I know sometimes I thought he sometimes still goes back and plays with them. So
No, I wasn't Bill. Can't remember who it was.
I might be totally wrong.
Morbid Angel had
He might have not played with freaking Napalm Death since they way back in the day when they formed, because he was one of the founding members, I think.
Yeah. Morbid Angel had the other singer,
Not the original.
not the original.
Is there anybody original in that band?
Trey Anastasio.
Who? Speak up.
And he the guitars? Trey.
Trey. That's what I heard.
I don't want to say the wrong thing. It looks stupid.
I don't know.
But
Though you don't have to remember his name, man. It's no big deal. What was I going to say? Shit.
Well, but also to go back, you ask how we're doing. I'm doing old. Became the father to an adult son. Came out fully adult. Full Abercrombie and Fitch
Model?
uniform. Yeah, he's got a job as a model immediately. And took 9 months. Now my son turned 18, and I just started feeling my age. Both my hip and my pancreas broke immediately.
Exploded. Your pancreas exploded. Your hip shattered as soon as his birthday hit, like that hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Low
Fell
bone
down a flight of steps.
Sprained my ankle.
The government immediately, as soon as he turned 18, the guy showed up like in a delivery truck and brought you a walker. The government issued.
I kind of
You didn't know that the federal government issued walkers, did you?
Just the last essence of your youth transferring to him.
I peed myself waiting for stamps.
Immediately, you were just concerned about the weather. That's the only thing you could
You
talk
immediately became completely incontinent and just started shitting and pissing.
I've been buying stamps and I don't mail anything like that. But
I hope they have the Barney Fife ones.
You're just every single morning you go into a gas station. You're like, why aren't there any papers?
You hang out at the fucking Hardee's,
yeah,
just talking to people.
Apparently, it's around here. It's Panera Bread now.
Is it?
We went to Panera Bread today, and there was, an ocean of old people.
Dude, there's like 1,000 different restaurants that they all like congregate at. I know Hardee's is one.
I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying, there's a lot of old people.
a gaggle of geriatrics.
Gaggle geriatrics hanging out.
A death's row.
Death row.
No, what is a good term for a herd of old people?
I don't know. A gaggle's probably good.
A graying of humanity.
A coop of cooters. I don't know.
What?
A wad of wrinkles.
Oh, yo,
Scratch that. I'm editing that out.
Yes, please.
A league of liver spots.
I said I wasn't going to say anything stupid.
More so like this episode, like I knew we were just gonna do a hang, but so I had saved some stuff just for conversation rather than going over the article itself. But I sent this to you, Jake, about that Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim.
Oh
trailer,
yeah.
That anime. Is it anime?
Yeah, it is.
Is it made by an anime company? Or is it a Warner
I know
Brothers?
it's directed by pretty sure a Japanese dude.
Oh, cool. Yeah, from the trailer, I didn't see directors and all that stuff. I just saw action. It looks cool.
I don't see
And it's an
directors.
actual
I see
thing
people.
that was recorded in Tolkien's histories. So if it follows it, right?
I doubt it's going to. I think it's supposed to mostly have to do with Helm Hammerhand, and they're going to focus on his kid.
Well, have you seen the preview for the new season of Rings of Power?
No, because I made myself sit through the entire first season, and once it was done, I was like, yep, done with that forever.
The two wizards, whoever they're supposed to be in the preview, look like bad cosplays.
Oh, yeah? They showed two wizards?
Yeah. And it's all he's all
Is it going to be the blue
Sauron
ones?
has returned. Are you going to... I don't know. He's saying something. I don't know. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. So it's who cares? But I'm just... With the budget I heard that was for the first season...
Oh, they've got an insane... I think
have
they
an
still have an insane budget.
for
But
this.
And
they
they're guaranteed
look
3 to 5 seasons or some shit like that, no
I
matter
know you
what.
can only do so much
Yeah.
with a wizard. Making a person look like a wizard. But they just look my neighbor dressed up as a wizard. And I'm like, hey, man, cool wizard outfit.
What do you mean you can only do so much? It's easy to do. It's easy to make someone look like a wizard.
I'm saying you can't make it. It's not an overly elaborate. It's not like when you're developing a crazy armor from something for, you know what I mean? It's a wizard. So I know there's not a lot to it is what I'm saying. But they just, something about them just looks
I want to hear that.
cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But also, not to defend something I haven't seen and also, fuck that show, but shouldn't they look vaguely homeless?
I guess so, yeah.
Vaguely.
As long as they don't have bird shit in their hair.
Yeah, I mean, there is no defending Radagast from the Hobbit movies. That was
Good
pretty
Lord.
terrible.
That was fucking sad, dude. I was stoned out of my gourd and couldn't finish that movie.
Oh, dude, that's...
I got 45 minutes through and it stopped.
Yeah, didn't I come over and get you high and we tried to watch it?
Yeah.
Too high for this bullshit.
It's like, this did not help at all.
No, it doesn't, dude. The only thing that's good about that, the only thing that's cool about that movie at all are like the two beginning musical breaks. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates, and the Lonely Mountain song.
Yes, that was
Those
excellent.
are cool.
I remember seeing that and just seeing that before the movie was out, like on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
They released it. That was really cool. I love how they produced that song.
That's one thing you do have
But
to
did
give
they
them.
put any of the other songs in the fucking movie?
I don't think so, but at the same time, like, you have to give them even though those movies suck, you got to give them a little bit of credit, because how often did they do it in the trilogy?
Yeah, but there weren't near as many songs either.
That's true, but they didn't feature any of them really.
No. But, I mean, the song with the trolls. Well, he didn't do a song with the trolls. With the spiders, I mean, sorry.
Wasn't he just insulting them?
Yeah, but he was like doing like a little song.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't need 3 movies.
Yeah,
Let's not even get into that.
Yeah,
Michael,
but like
what did you have there? Something you wanted to talk about?
Oh. Sure. I haven't read it, but somewhere I saw there's been a study, I guess, somewhere that links atheists with genetic mutation. I said Down syndrome, but mutants.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
To me, my X-Men.
This sounds like this is from some kind of, probably some of them people like Project 2025 bullshit. Somebody in that kind of sector.
I guess they're speaking to the author of the studies, but
So it's not, so like, I thought it was going to be, I thought you said atheism was
I
supposed
got
to be
a little confused. It's
linked
been
to
a while
Down
since-
syndrome, which is hilarious and sounds like propaganda. But if you're telling me they're mutants, do you mean like you don't believe in God, you get superpowers? That's fucking sick.
yeah.
When do I get to become the master of magnetism?
I was going to say, yeah, try to, I don't know, pick up some keys from over here.
With your mind? I was trying to see if I could make my make a gun shoot earlier with my mind. Didn't work.
See, I feel like if I was a mutant, I'd get like one of the crappy powers that you couldn't be an accident. Like, you'd be able to go to the school and be accepted, but you wouldn't get to be a superhero. Like, I'd sweat acid, or like just one single claw would pop out of my dick or something.
Yeah.
You know, nothing you
It
could
ended up
actually
being
use.
something really shitty.
Yeah. I bleed from my eyes.
I feel like the more and more, as I get older, like, a lot of the mutant powers would be cool. But, like, you know, back in the day, I'd be like, I want Wolverine's powers. Now, I would just want to be able to teleport.
Yeah.
I would have teleportation.
I wouldn't want
because-
to teleport.
You wouldn't?
No, because I am so clumsy. I would get stuck in a wall and never come back out.
I'm not saying
Like Nightcrawler
with
shit.
the rules like night crawlers. I'm saying just being able to teleport. Don't worry about all the stuff where, like, you know, got to know where you're going or
Well,
kind
not
of know
every
the layout.
teleporter has to know. Nightcrawler just has to.
Yeah, just to be able to
I
teleport.
mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be cool to look like Nightcrawler, have the fucking tail and the fur, and be blue and shit. Be able to blend into shadows, see in the dark.
Possibly have 2 penises.
Yeah, possibly have 2 penises.
And you know, both of them is packing.
Dude, which, you know, he was like super Christian. You know, he was a cat. Like, I was
And
wondering,
blue.
I wonder if he saved one for marriage. Like, if he was only using one of his dicks. But also, dude, like you were saying, like, I would have liked to have had Wolverine's powers when I was a kid. But the older I get, the more I feel like Wolverine's powers fucking suck. There's no wonder he's not immune to pain. Like, he feels it every time his fucking claws pop out. Things that would normally kill you instantaneously. He feels it. It's like, oh, cool, I just got shot in the stomach. Let me give birth to the shrapnel. Oh, let me feel the, oh yeah, all of it, like, I lost every layer of skin and I'm stripped down to the muscle. Let me feel all of the sand in that as I regrow my, like, layers of skin over the course of minutes or hours, depending on the severity of the injury. Like, oh, why are you so bad all the time? I don't know, because I feel pain no man should, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, and I can't, and getting drunk doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, oh, cool, let me just slam this 5th of whiskey to feel a buzz for 5 minutes. Oh, look, hey, look, I'm doing bong rips. I'm high, and it's gone.
That's what crack is. You spent $100 for 5 minutes.
And he's like, has an extremely long lifespan.
Yeah, let me just watch everyone I love die.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine how bad too that shit is for him? Because he was born in like the 1800s. The fact that Wolverine even knows how to it's amazing that Wolverine knows how to use Google.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He probably doesn't.
Dude,
he probably doesn't bother.
Can drive a jet. He can pilot a jet. The Blackbird remembers horses and buggies and shit.
We got pretty sidetracked.
Probably met the Wright brothers.
Yeah, probably.
Doesn't remember because, his mind's been erased 1,000 times.
Well, you want to hear the meaning of this theory, I guess? Apparently there's no conclusion. Go figure. But the paper's called "The Mutant Says in His Heart There Is No God." The conclusion of this work are even more interesting. According to the authors, Edward Dutton, humans evolved to be religious, and atheism is caused in part by mutational damage to our normal religious DNA. Atheists, in other words, are genetic degenerates.
Wow, so this is just an asshole. He did no study at all. It's just his opinion.
He
just made up something to go along with his opinion.
My genes are nasty.
They're fucking degenerates.
The doctor put a stethoscope up to my heart and it was no longer singing hymnals.
But then it says, despite the talk of mutations, there is no genetics in this paper. No atheist genomes were sequenced and found to be mutated. Rather, Dutton claims that atheists have elevated rates of proxy measures of genetic health or mutational load, namely ill health, autism, and left-handedness. My son's left-handed.
I like mutational load. That sounds like a good band name.
This, they say, is consistent with atheism being a manifestation of increasing genetic mutation affecting the mind. But, no research.
No sources cited.
Not one.
Studies.
What a fucking idiot.
Dude, that reminds me.
Their third finger smells bad.
I had a feeling as soon as he started talking about it that it was some fucking asshole.
Dude, that reminds me. Since there's no science cited, no studies, nothing. It's just all feelings. I remember
believe this.
Years back for a nickel, I was at a secondhand store. I bought the intro to Scientology.
Oh,
because I was like, oh, fuck.
For a nickel?
Yeah.
That's not very Scientologist.
I was like, I'm gonna read this and just see what it's about. Even though I you already knew a lot about Scientology, know it sucks. But they kept making all these extraordinary claims world leaders believe in this and ascribe to this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll get a few pages in and they're going to have a little notation on the world leaders and this. And they're like, studies show. And they keep saying things like that, making wild claims. I got about 20 pages in. And then I started looking for a glossary because I didn't see a little notation at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Nothing that said no index about any studies or anything. I've never done this, dude. I got so mad I threw the fucking book against the wall and I lost it. Never read another fucking page. I was I'll give you I'll give you a little bit of leeway if you can at least show me a paper. But no.
You should have jumped on a plane and threw it off that. Take that, Tom Cruise.
Take that, Tom Cruise.
You gotta show him up.
Hey, y'all see
It's
where
gonna be hard.
one of our listeners sent me this. Apparently now you can just play. You can play the original Diablo on your web browser on your PC.
What?
Yeah, you can get it. Just play it on a web browser. So if you want to play Diablo, the original PC Diablo, hop on there, buddy.
Man, that's pretty cool.
Hold on, I'm still looking at this.
Oh, there's more?
Yeah.
This
could be related to other genetic deficiencies like bodily symmetry. So if you're not symmetrical, good Jesus.
It's because you know why? Because God only shapes people symmetrically. When he personally sculpts each and every human, he doesn't make a mistake. So obviously, if you're not symmetrical, you're not of God.
Yeah, it says, I'm back on this Diablo thing. It says to play Diablo in your browser, you'll need to upload diabdat.mpq file.
I like the little...
or via GOG, and you have access to this file already. But if you don't, there's a shareware MPQ loaded already, so you can click and play.
I like the juxtaposition here. Like one thing's about not believing in God, and the other
I'm talking about
Diablo.
Yeah.
It's almost over.
That's what they keep saying. I've seen them with the signs on street corners.
Dutton suggests that atheists might be too intelligent because a very high IQ causes all kinds of mental and social problems. Such very high intelligence can be regarded as a maladaptive mutation, and this would explain why intelligence is weakly negatively associated with religiousness, which is adaptive. What did that last sentence mean?
That's a lot of words for you're too smart for your own good.
You're too smart for your negatively associated weakly.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, whatever.
It all started when they put Bill Nye in schools.
That is.
All I'm saying is just go play Diablo
Yeah.
on your PC. Because it's about the devil. No, but it says you're limited to play it. You can only play the warrior class, and you can't talk to NPCs.
Lame.
but yeah, you can immediately experience the classic flavor. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. That kind of shit. Like, I don't know. I haven't played any Diablo game since the first one.
Really?
So
On PlayStation 1.
I've played the first and like the third.
I don't know. Is Diablo 2 any good?
I didn't play 2.
I've known a lot of people that played it.
Yeah,
Played
a lot
2?
of people love 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diablo 1 was fun as hell.
No, yeah, it was
But
really good.
I had
On
friends like
PlayStation.
that were way more into it, but than I. Have you seen where they've released Doom? Like that collection of Doom where it's like it's the definitive like PC versions of like I think Doom 1, 2 and Final Doom, which they've released these in packs before, but like it's an update to it and like you don't
Doom's
have to
on
pay
everything.
for it. They let you have the update if you already own the pack or whatever. But like it adds like there's like a new stage in 2 or Final Doom that Romero made just recently, like a new stage and like
Oddly enough, Final Doom, not the Final Doom.
no, but which doesn't like I think like Bethesda and shit have rights to all that.
Do
now.
they? I don't know who makes Doom anymore.
Well, they made the new Dooms, so
So did they all crash and they're super glitchy?
no, because ID Software they bought ID Software, you know, so. It's not like it's not like a Scrolls game. You don't get that beautiful experience, you know? Did I say, I said Scrolls.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I said Souls game for a minute. It's like, no, sorry. Scrolls. Elder Scrolls.
Strolls.
Oh, cool. No, that would be a good name for like old people. Elder Souls.
Elder Souls, like a
grouping.
Sweet.
Yeah, a grouping of old people.
Well,
Yep. And then Nathan's thought process abruptly ends.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
You been reading anything lately, man?
Me?
Yeah.
Let's see. I have not really started on anything else since I read that Tender is the Flesh.
Yeah. You
I
let
let
me read
Michael
it.
borrow it and read it. He read it in one sitting, pretty much, I think.
It was like 2 days. Yeah.
But like, that story kind of fucked with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to like, I hadn't decided. Like, I kind of been torn. Like, if I want to read something like more, I kind of feel like I want to read another thing like kind of horror based, or like, you know, in that kind of vein. But then I also want to read something. Maybe read something fantasy or sci-fi, and so I haven't like actually decided on anything yet.
I'll let you borrow that Conan book.
I'll read it. Well, wait, don't give it to me yet, because I might start on something and then have your book forever. But
Don't get them started.
don't get them started. But yeah, I mean. My problem is I'll have like 5 to 10 different things I want to read, and then I like have trouble making myself like start on any of them. I like can't make up my mind, and then I just slack.
Yeah, I've just
Don't read them.
I've it took me.
It's weird. It's like some kind of weird brain block. Like,
there was about a year or two gap where I wasn't reading a lot of novels because I had that issue, but then I just started. I was like, no, I'm going to read this fucking novel, and now I'm like flying through books again. The only time I ever take a break is like, oh, it's Wednesday, I'm buying comic books. Fuck you, novel, for a day or two, because...
Yeah, and I've gotten weird over the years too. Like, I used to be able to just pick up something and read it.
Yeah.
And like, if I didn't like it, which we've talked, like back in the day, we've talked about plenty of stuff where like, I read this and it was all right. Like, but like, I can't do that anymore. Like, I really, and it doesn't even have to be something bad. Like, if I'm just not in the right mind frame for that type of story, I'll read like 2 or 3 chapters and I'll be like, I'm going to read this another time. I'm not into it right now. And I'll move to something else. Yeah. Like, and I can't do like I used to, where I could just pick up anything and just be like, and read it all and be like, well, that sucked.
Yeah.
But I read the whole thing anyway.
So I really like that Tender as a Flesh because it's been a while since I've had a page turner. Couldn't stay up late.
Yeah.
One more chapter and you read like 6.
When Michael, he hung out a while back and we played this game, Scorn.
Yeah.
And I haven't jumped back on it yet. I was kind of thinking about probably maybe waiting again until we played again or something. But that game.
Lot of
that was kind of like, it was kind of like that book, but in a different way, like unsettling.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one scene the other day.
It's just really unsettling. The whole world in that Scorn game is like, it's just gross. It's just like disgusting.
Like Geiger mixed with something.
Yeah, it's like H.R. Geiger almost style world, but like real pinky, fleshy, like weird. And like
biomechanical.
You wake up, you don't know why, and you're this fucking dude. Some kind of dude. I don't know what you are. You're fucking weird looking. But you wake up and you're like, it's like this. The whole place is like weird, fleshy and bone looking, like everything.
Biomechanical.
Yeah, like everything's very biomechanical.
How good are the graphics?
And you're like in the ground.
Yeah.
Like you're like fused to the ground. You like peel yourself up. And you're just disgusting looking.
You're molten.
And every bit of the game is just disgusting. Like it's like everything you do, you use your fingers to stick in, like everything that's mechanical, that you open doors or whatever, you have to stick your hands in these weird like
pussy
butthole tubular things.
Everything
pussy hungry holes.
You jam your fingers in them to like control stuff and like.
I was literally playing like this.
There's like it looks like there's butthole imagery all over everything.
Can you imagine the VR version of that?
It's very
with the smell
realistic looking too. It's not like if you were asking what it looked like, the graphics are like very realistic.
This game's real squishy and tactile.
We did this puzzle where you had to move these fucking things on the wall with this weird ass machine that looked like eggs.
Yeah.
And there's some of them that have these lights on them, and the other ones are out, and those are ones that are like ruined or not any good.
Yeah.
And it's like this place has been abandoned forever. This place you wake up in, but your dude seems like he has like an understanding, so like he's part of it or something. Mm. But like you're moving these things. And it grabs this egg, the one with the light on it. I guess it's a good one.
The fertilized one.
Well, it opens it up, and it's got this fucking guy in it.
Yeah.
It's this fucking
and
guy.
And he's kind of like you, and he's like all trapped in it. He's all twisted up, and I know people can't see me, but his legs are like sticking up all weird, and his arms up over his head, and he's like, making these noises and shit in it. And you're moving him around.
He's got like a wide Stewie head.
So there's this door you need to get in, but it needs 2 sides. It needs like more than one person.
Yeah.
So you take this guy in this weird ass egg and you move him around and you like finally get him into this room. There's all these weird contraptions with these weird ass saws and like all this weird stuff.
And he's moaning. He don't know what's going on.
Yeah. He's like he's wanting your help or something.
It's his kink.
You take him in this room and you put him in this machine and you control it. And it's like this big fucking weird ass
claw machine.
No, it's like this weird ass ice cream scooper type thing. And it just goes down and is like, and just like stabs down into the egg that he's like part of. He's like fused in. and just scoops and scrapes him out and like tears his arm off and all kinds of stuff. He's like, like screaming and shit, and then just dumps him in a fucking trash chute.
Just a hole.
And you're like, oh, okay. And you go over and just take his arm so you can get one of these keys attached to it because you have to get these weird shit attached to your body and all this shit. But yeah, you just use this guy's arm to help with the door. It's just like weird. Like,
and we were stunned silent for a little bit after that.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck? I thought you were going to help the guy. But no, you just scoop his ass out and throw him away.
He just needed his arm.
It's a fucking
to open
weird.
one door.
It's like, I wonder about, like, sometimes you think about the people who made it. Like, I wonder if they were taking some drugs or,
Are they okay?
You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those types. We seriously think about the developers and be like, I wonder what these guys were like smoking when they.
Yeah, and then you just find out it's some normal dude. He's like, no, my name's Tim.
Yeah, I was just sitting around one day.
I was just thinking, what's a really elaborate, squishy, slimy way to open a door? I was eating eggs at the time.
I figured.
And it all grew
Yeah, I
from
was
there.
eating boiled eggs and had a lot of grease on my fingers from some chicken I ate earlier, and I was like, what would it be like if you had to use 5 buttholes to stick your fingers in to open a door? And they're real slimy, greasy.
I was looking inside the egg too. It was like, what if a little guy was in there, a little screaming, moaning guy?
But yeah, it's quite disturbing. It has like mixed reviews, and a lot of people
A lot of people were like,
didn't like it.
And that was just one option.
That was just one option. You could have took him somewhere else and like put him in like a saw machine, and like we figured that out afterwards. It was like, okay, we could have done any of these to him probably.
Thick saw.
Yeah, it
blade.
looks like it's made out of bones or something.
Yeah.
Weird. And like,
grind the back of his head if we took him.
but yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. But I think it's because I think you get to a point where there's more action, but it's very puzzle based and like figuring out in the environments. Kind of like, you remember Myst?
Yeah.
Not so much on Myst's level because there's more action, but you know what I mean? It's got that puzzly kind of thing to it. And I think people
Definitely
were maybe
reminiscent
expecting something more
It's
like,
like a modern Mist.
they're probably expecting something more like Doom or something, maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why people disliked it. I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I was very
Mist.
No, that
Pulled
next
in.
level is just the imagery. It's like
Mist with buttholes and fingering.
yeah. We left off.
otherworldly is not even the word.
Yeah, you got that weird gun looking thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was like a jackhammer
piston.
type thing, and you use it to open shit and use on.
So everything's phallic. And
Yes, it's
fucking
fucking weird, dude. And you go into this, you get fucked up somehow. I can't remember. You wake up in this other area, you fall or something, and there's this weird fucking animal crawling around. And I was like, that thing's gonna come after us at some point. And that's where we left off. This thing attacks you in this hallway. It jumps on your back, and it's got this weird tail, and this weird ass head like folds over.
Yeah.
That looks like a
And it's from,
Medusa in
it's from
God of
all from
War
first person.
original.
It jumps on you in your back and attacks you, and like it has human like arms. It's got more than 2 arms, I think, but it's got 2 human like arms. It jams them inside of your body, and they're like curled up inside you. Watch him like jam them in your torso, and blood go over, and he like fuses himself to you. And then it has the gun thing, but it's like holding it with its tail.
See, that's
And like
probably,
it's weird
I
ass
bet you
shit.
it's supposed to be like your dog or your cat, and you just didn't do the treat puzzle where you get him like a sack of ball bags to feed him.
Maybe. It probably should have gave the ball bags from the guy you scooped out of the egg.
Yeah, but that's just one ball bag. and
So the next
those things
time I
can't just eat
scoop
one.
some-
We
Somebody-
didn't know he's just going to be thrown directly in the trash.
Yeah. I mean, next time I'll really make sure to hold on to his ball bag.
Mhm.
But you don't have any pockets, so you're naked.
Oh.
You could probably
I guess you can stick them in your ass crack or
You're
something.
probably. It seems like you're goopy and greasy enough that it could probably just stick to.
Yeah,
you.
that's what I'm saying. Just
Maybe you're greasy. Wouldn't they slide off?
put him like a pin.
I don't know, just try it
Like
a
a
little.
shirt.
I don't know. Maybe. Just hold them in your mouth. Put one in each cheek, like a chipmunk. I've also been playing.
What are you doing? Keep it ball.
I've also been playing Black Myth Wukong.
Oh yeah, I want to play that.
Yes, monkeys, Michael.
Yes.
But it's quite beautiful. And it is. You fight normal enemies, but I swear to God, dude, it is boss fight after boss fight after boss fight. Like you just fight bosses
Yeah, all right, cool.
like all the time. Like it's crazy, and some of them are like it's really cool because it plays kind of like us. People are calling it a Souls-like, but it plays a lot like a God of War, Rygar. You know,
Yeah.
Like a hack and slash.
it's more
action.
It's more like fast action. I would more compare the combat, the way the combat works, to like God of War or something like that. But like the bosses and like figuring out their patterns and the difficulty and stuff could be like a Souls game. But
You got to start over when
You
die?
evade like souls.
you don't. Yeah, you evade. You got to roll and like all that kind of stuff. You don't get to really. You get stuff later that you can kind of use as like a block or something.
You don't lose all your upgrades and stuff though. Like
No, you do not. You don't lose. You collect shit that's called will, and that's kind of like the stuff you use to like, to help you upgrade your skills and or buy things in the shops or whatever. You don't lose those. You don't have to go pick them up. And they give you this is really cool. It's like they kind of expect you to do this, almost like you need to sometimes, possibly, especially early on when you're not maxed out with skills. That you can, anytime you're at one of the like little shrines that you can rest and you can do your leveling up and stuff at any time you can return all your points that you've put into skills or whatever.
oh yeah,
And and reconfigure them and respec yourself. And I've done that a couple of times just to figure out and see if it works better for like certain bosses. And like, but there's so much the freaking art style and of the different bosses you fight and stuff, dude. It's awesome. Like over the top, like these fucking animals, like, and it's really cool because, you know, like if you're familiar with the Monkey King stuff, it's like a lot of these demon guys or whatever they are, they're like gals or, what are they called? Yagwais or something like that.
Mogwai.
yeah, you're beating up Gizmo.
They're like people who were like, or sages or whatever that were like, went bad, went wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and they become these like form of whatever, like a monster form of themselves or whatever, corrupted and you fight them and shit. And there's this one tiger one that's awesome. Like when you get to him, it's like these rat guys. They're these weird princes. I won't get into all that shit, but like they're apparently he's taken over and like kind of ruling this one area at Crouching Tiger Temple. And like,
It's Joe Exotic. The Tiger
that'd be
King.
gross. But he's like this big tiger looking thing. He's wearing like a loincloth and shit, but he's like this big pool. And he's just like drinking blood out of this pool.
Yeah.
And like you fight him and it's like this big ass fucking tiger, but he does like kung fu. He'll like do poses and like do all these kung fu moves and uses a sword and shit. I mean, there's some cool ass shit in it, dude. Like, you could tell they were like, it's this company's first fucking
it wasn't
game.
a Chinese studio.
Yeah.
I found out. So like they
And like,
They make phone games.
and I know they're, before. Yeah,
but
but
that's
this
all they
is like
make.
their first big project.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you could tell they like made sure that they were like,
Graphics are incredible.
yeah.
Stairs. I've loved all the stairs.
Yeah, and you
I've never
and
loved stairs
all the
so
pots
much in
and
a game.
boxes you can break, and like, but
Oh, do the boxes have like any sort of like steaming hams for health and stuff?
no, unfortunately, you do get will fragments that kind of suck into your body.
That's
when you,
cool.
But
I like it. I like a good trash ham in a game.
Trash hams are really always really good.
Wall hands.
When I play, I'm hoping to find one of those when I play Hobo Simulator pretty soon. But trash hams are
Is that on
better be
PS5?
pretty prominent in that game. But what was I saying? I got sidetracked. Oh, there's been some controversy over stuff with the developers and stuff, and it was really weird. Like the media, like the gaming media, you know, like GameSpot and all those kind of shit, IGN. They're all really trying to get people to hate this game.
But why? Like I saw some stuff about that.
Well, because
And I didn't pay
well,
attention.
apparently part of it
Chinese
is
print.
one of the directors
That's not
posted something on Twitter or whatever. I don't know. It was mistranslated and
Okay.
translated as he said something like really inappropriate towards women and stuff, and it was proven to be very badly mistranslated. But they just kept running with it.
Yeah.
And trying to say that he said this shit. And then something else. When the game came out, streamers that were sent copies, free copies, big streamers. That's a normal practice. They were sent like this thing saying rules not to talk about on their stream, like about
That's common.
feminist propaganda and all this weird shit. But it was like, that's from the fucking Chinese government. That is not the developers.
So the Chinese
That's the
Communist
rules.
Party.
Yes, they had.
It's like sending it shit.
Of course, the developers have to go along with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
not
their government.
fault, but at the same time, like, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, most of the streamers didn't care. Like, one of the streamers that was playing it called his stream. The title of his stream was like Black Myth Wukong Feminist Propaganda Stream, something like with everything. Like, because you don't have
fuck
to
you
do
here
anything.
in America.
Yeah. But like, and it wasn't the developers. People were like, "This is what that was coming from obviously from the government."
You just
And
have
anyway,
a little sound
as long
effect
as
with
the game is good,
Spice Girls saying "girl power" every time you do
and,
something.
and I understand a lot of that stuff and people being about that, but it's like, if the game is good, I'm not really worried about what.
Yeah, where it came from.
Yeah, and it is good. The only complaint, I started thinking about it when I was running around, and there was this one part where there were these rat archers on top of this building, and they were driving me fucking insane.
Okay.
Because they'll shoot like multiple arrows, and you have to use like your staff to spin and block them and shit. But I couldn't get to these motherfuckers, and I started thinking, for a game about the Monkey King and a Monkey Man, there's a lot. Yeah, why can't I throw turds at these guys and knock them off these roofs? Yeah. No,
It's my only complaint.
weird that there's not a lot of climbing.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, you're agile as fuck because you're the Monkey King. You're a Monkey Man,
Yeah.
becoming the Monkey King or whatever, and like,
And a quite handsome one.
yeah, he's quite handsome, but yeah, there's not a lot of climbing, which I mean, it doesn't take away from like.
Maybe there is. You haven't beat the game yet.
He's a monkey, not Nathan Drake. Jeez.
Maybe there's a treetop.
Who do you think
battle.
made this game? Naughty Dog.
Those are dogs.
But anyway, the game is spectacular. It's figuring out how to beat these bosses. This is one thing I've talked about for years, and a lot of people probably have, other people have too. But with the Souls games, and what From Software does with their games compared to other developers who try to make a game similar to that, and it fails because it sucks. And it's From Software, like, perfected that whole crazy fucking insanely over the top bosses that are in like look and everything, but also in difficulty and figuring out their patterns and figuring out how to beat them, and that level of people, the satisfaction you get when you're like, hell yeah, I just fucking figured that guy out, whipped his ass. Yeah. They figured out the formula where a lot of these fucking companies, that's where they're missing, and their games suck because the balancing and everything else sucks in their games.
They figured out the perfect balance of like challenging enough to not be super annoying rage quit, but feeling good when you accomplish it.
I mean, some people probably rage quit because I mean those games are hard.
They probably found like the right level.
Yes, but they've something about the way that they design their games.
Reward.
Yes, they've figured out that when you beat one of those fucking bosses that you've retried fucking 15, 20 times or more, you're like, hell yeah, I got through it, and you want to go on. And just the whole thing of the universes and, you know, the lore and keeping a lot of stuff kind of like vague and secretive, and it's like, wow, you know, like making you ask questions about the lore and stuff, and not everything's not just handed to you, that kind of shit. That's why they're awesome. And like, I think Black Myth has kind of done that with the bosses. Like, I'll be like, son of a bitch, and like be fighting these bosses, get my ass kicked over and over and over again. But then like, and they'll have so many different moves, and there's not necessarily a pattern to how they use them. They don't ever use them in the same order.
Yeah.
But you figure out the patterns of those moves, and like, you know,
he never used that spin kick until I got him 3/4 down.
Yeah, or they're like, certain bosses might go through a transformation. Some of them don't. They just change the way they do something. Some of them don't change the way they do things. And it's like, it has that satisfaction level when you finally beat them. And you're like, hell yeah. Like, and it's just super interesting because it's all that fucking, that mythology from, Journey to the West. That's the whole last story. And like,
Just every enemy's cool when you first see it. Snake Man.
And there's always,
Bullfrog Man.
and like the old man with the potato head in the first part, the weird potato head. That's like the guardian of the mountain or whatever that kind of guides you in that part. In the second chapter, there's like this bard type guy playing one of those little, like the Chinese instrument. Well, I can't remember what they're called. But,
Yeah,
they're real twangy, cool sounding Chinese instruments, like a little guitar thing. He's like headless, but you can still hear his voice, and he like sings these songs, and he's like a bard, and he walks around in circles and like sings these whole songs. It's really fucking cool, and he'll give you like abilities as you go on and you beat certain things. It's and I'm not that far into it, so I mean it's just gonna get cooler and cooler because you play the beginning and all the fucking gods like standing in front of you when he's like standing up to him and there to fight them all.
Yeah,
and the story's just cool because it's about he's values his freedom. He can send it to godhood, and he figured out what it was like in the celestial court and all this stuff. And he was like, "This is dumb. I just want to be free." You know what I mean? Like, and he defies the gods, and they're like trying to punish him for it. And it's just a cool ass story. Like, but anyway, that's it for me in Black Myth. I'll see y'all later. Mic drop.
That's a myth.
Sorry, going on and on about it.
That's great. And it's selling like crazy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like almost most played game on Steam of all
the
time.
Controversy.
Like
They're
behind,
winning.
like I don't know, like probably Counter-Strike or something.
Yeah, so why do you think they're actually like trying to take it down? Like obviously, like they found out there was a mistranslation, but they kept running. They kept running with it. Do you think it's literally because it was a Chinese studio?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know, dude.
But
like,
there's also like, which is kind of weird.
That's Chinese monkey.
But that's kind of weird to a certain extent
We
because
want
like,
American monkey.
there's so many things based off that myth. I mean, or inspired by it. Dragon Ball Z was inspired by it.
well, yeah, but when they do the like when there are Chinese movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and stuff like that, we don't really. It doesn't seem like our government or the industry goes out of its way to discredit a movie. So why a difference with a game? You think? Is it because tensions are so high between like the West and China right now?
Maybe. I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, there's always like fucking tension. So
Yeah, I mean, it's selling like crazy.
yeah, I want to play it. I'll eventually get it. I'm
it's
sure.
super fun, man. It's really
basically
cool.
a new studio out of China. So I mean, somebody jealous. Sounds
Game
like.
science is what they're called.
Yeah, I'm wrapping up WrestleQuest currently, so
WrestleQuest.
I just got the Jake the Snake summon.
Summon.
You have to play Snake to get it. Like you go into a little arcade. It's supposed to be like, there was this game that never got released for Jake the Snake, and it's literally you're just playing Snake, like the old ass game, and you have to beat the high score.
That's
and
awesome.
then Jake the Snake comes out and like gives you.
You know
a
what?
speech.
I wish they would. I wish like Limited Run or somebody would release a physical copy of a Bobo's Big Adventure.
Yes, I love that game. I wish they'd do a sequel.
I mean, you can probably still play it for free on the internet.
Yeah, you can.
But
It's just
I
hard to-
would buy a physical copy. They probably can't sell it because it's a fan-made game of a character
True
that
Nintendo
now belongs to Arc Systems that make like Guilty Gear and all those. So it's like they're the ones that are making all the Double Dragon games now, and that's why they're so badass because they're a good company. But like they would probably get sued. I'm sure.
I loved.
It's like sell it.
I was
Or
playing
just
that-
let Arc Systems have it.
I was playing it on keyboard, and like I was doing some of the trophies, like don't get hit in a contra level on a keyboard. So I was deep in a Bobo,
Yeah.
baby.
You know, sometimes, I mean, playing like that on the keyboard, once you get used to it, it's pretty effective for that kind of gameplay.
Yeah, but I think it was backwards. I think I had to
Even fighting games too.
control with my right hand and jump with the left hand.
Which is funny, as I remember being in our buddy Edwards and playing fighting games back in the day on emulators, like on the MAME emulators, and playing arcade fighting games and playing like on the keyboard. And you think about it now, it's like all these pro players are using these leverless sticks. What I can call them fight sticks. There's no stick, but it's like the fight stick side of the buttons and the keyboard style buttons. So man, I was doing that back in the day. I don't know why I'm not better with a leverless controller because I was doing it all the time at Edwards. Like And I see like guys like streaming playing some of the games that he would find, arcade games, like guys just now like, oh, look at this, I uncovered this old arcade fighting game that everybody forgot about, like that one that's unfinished. It was like the something Angels. Me and Edward played that all the time, and I just saw somebody like Justin Wong or somebody covering it on his channel. Like, there's a Fightcade now you can get. And play all these old fighting games, and they're all online. You can fight people. So
I was there, Gandalf, 5,000 years ago.
I was. I played Garu, Mark of the Wolves, when Ramon, he was called Butt. They're bringing out the new Garu game, and I was like, oh, look, it's Butt. And then I saw his name is Ramon. I'm like, what? Or something like that.
That's one of the best things about emulators, though, man, is a lot of the games that got ported to systems that didn't have the graphics that the arcade cabinet did. Like Captain America and the Avengers, like playing the arcade version of that as opposed to like Super Nintendo, because the graphics look way better for the arcade cabinet.
Yeah. Captain America and the Avengers was like one of my favorite. I remember that being one of the earliest times when I played an arcade game as a kid, and it would be like on my mind. Like, man, I really want to play that game. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting the itch. The child addiction thing.
You were a chain smoker back in?
I was like, God, I really want to play Captain America and the Avengers.
Papa.
Yeah, those were some of the best, though, man. Like,
Go, Quicksilver, go!
yeah, fighting games and beat 'em ups, dude. Because like that, the X-Men game, the Simpsons arcade game,
Oh, what's his name? You fight that first boss. What is his name?
Whirlwind.
Whirlwind. He's like, there's no escape. You'll be the one escaping. It's like, oh, great job, Cap. So you know you're going to let him get away, huh? Anyway.
Meet a cap and make it happen.
Oh man! So who was your dude in that game? Who'd you play?
I usually went back and forth between Vision and Iron Man.
Yeah, I feel like they were the best. Like Iron Man was my dude, but
I usually played Iron Man the most. When I was a kid, I was like obsessed with Iron Man. I didn't know anything about him because I didn't get to read the comics, but I was just obsessed with the way he looked. I had an Iron Man action figure. I remember with the old school look, with the slit eyes.
Oh, did you have the one with the snap-on armor?
Red and yellow? No, he was just an Iron Man.
Oh, I had one that had like little snap-on armor
I'm
pieces.
just an Iron
You
Man.
could snap, like he was in yellow or whatever pants and stuff, but you had like the snap-on thrusters, the snap-on like arm piece. You could put his helmet on. He looked like what did old school Tony Stark kind of look like? Damn it, why can't I? Burt Reynolds.
Oh,
He had
yeah.
a little Burt Reynolds stash.
Yeah. No, mine was just I was like really sad because I remember as a kid, I had him and like this really cool Spider-Man figure that my sister bought me for my birthday. And he was like he was just called multi-jointed Spider-Man. It was one of the first action figures you could bend his wrist, his ankles, his knees, his shoulders, his elbows,
I know the
everything.
exact thing you're talking
His
about.
head would move around. It was like one of the first action figures they started doing that with. And
Perfect
I
character
lost
to do it
him
with.
and like Iron Man out in the yard somewhere. Like, I remember I'm traumatized. I'm scarred by this. Probably got ran over with the lawnmower or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, Green Goblin can't beat him, but the lawnmower sure can.
that was my
That's canon and issue.
Yeah.
that was my punishment as a kid for it wasn't thought about it. I was just a kid, But you leave your toys in the yard, I'll run over with the lawnmower because you should have remembered to pick them up. You damn 6-year-old.
Spider-Man, no!
Anyway, enough about childhood traumas. But
Anyhow.
Did you start have you blocked out like finding limbs of Spider-Man across the yard?
maybe it's probably blocked out. But I remember I had
It's like the Godfather scene.
I did that many times.
Wake up with a tiny Spider-Man head in your bed and start screaming.
I left stuff in the yard all the time. I had a Rambo. You remember the Rambo action figure
Vaguely.
from the 80s?
Yeah, vaguely too.
I left him in the yard somewhere. He had a real squishy head. I remember
He
that.
belongs in
Yeah.
the jungle.
He probably felt better in the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, until he got hit by the lawnmower.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure that is what happened to him.
Nothing is over. I guess it's over. Girl.
So, anything y'all are looking forward to? I haven't heard about movies or.
Terrifier 3
Terrifier
coming
3.
out soon.
I know about that one.
I guess taking Amy to go see Beetlejuice. We were talking about that on the way over here.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be any good, or if it's just going to be a cash grab, or
Is
then we were also
Tim Burton making it?
he is. But then we were talking about that too. Is like, when's the last time Tim Burton made a good movie?
Beetlejuice.
Well, maybe because it's Beetlejuice, it might be good.
It might be, but like seriously, think about it. Like those Alice in Wonderland movies suck. Frankenweenie sucked. Corpse Bride sucked.
Frankenweenie sucked.
Frankenweenie sucked.
Corpse Bride sucked.
Who shucked a Frankenweenie?
And then, what was the other one that was really terrible that he did? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory sucked with Johnny Depp.
You didn't like it?
That was
I don't
ass,
remember
dude.
anything about it except for Christopher Lee playing his dentist dad.
Says every. I don't remember anything about it.
Lots of teenage women.
I think it was
are gonna be
actually
mad
closer to the book.
when that came out.
It may have been, but you know what the problem was?
No, Gene Wilder.
Exactly, like Johnny Depp doing the Michael
Well,
Jackson.
yeah, you know the
shtick.
author though. I think Biz told me this. The author was like he wrote the script for the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Really?
I think so, or helped at least.
It kind of sucks. That it was awful. Then, huh?
No. I'm talking. I meant Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
okay,
Factory.
okay.
Sorry, the one with Gene Wilder.
Yeah, the one with Gene
So
Wilder.
I mean,
Gene Wilder did that flip thing.
he put that in himself. Yeah.
He was like,
When he
"No,
acted
don't do
like
that."
he was
He's like, "No, I
limping
wanna
and he
do that."
rolled and tripped and fell and rolled and hopped up and he was fine or whatever. Yeah, he just like improv that, but like to add to the character or whatever. But
yeah, it was something so no one would trust him.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's just too many iconic lines from the first one. Like,
Oh yeah, and like the part apparently where he turns around and screams in the kid's face, "You lose, you get nothing." Yeah, that was all unexpected too. Like
is
it scared the shit out of the kid and the old man.
the rowers keep on rowing.
I don't know if that was, but I know the part at the
care,
I know the part at
dude.
the
It's
end
all
was
awesome.
improv.
And Marilyn Manson made that a song. That's cool.
Your face. What's Manson have to do with this? What's Manson got to do? Since I got this new microphone.
The boat
What's
scene
Manson
song.
got
Can't
to
remember
do? Got to do with it? No. God damn. Oh. So Terrifier 3
Yeah.
comes out October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It's going to be Christmas
Week
themed, but it's
before
coming
my
out in
birthday.
October. I thought they were planning on releasing it around the holiday season,
Which would've
like
been cool.
Christmas holiday season.
Yeah, see, I thought that would have been cool, and I would have liked to have seen that. But I think the reason they're not doing that, and it makes sense, is it's going to have a limited release again. I'm sure it's probably not
Is
going
it going to be anywhere around here?
Well, it was here last time, dude.
Okay, good.
Like that, because I saw 2 here. I was telling him.
Yeah, I
that
think
was
it's-
another thing we talked about. I looked up on the website when that movie was coming out because I loved 1. And then I found out, they're doing a limited release. The website supposedly had every damn movie theater that was playing it. Ours was not listed. And then about the time it's coming out, I just got a hair up my ass and I looked at our local movie theater and said it was playing. I called several people to try to come with me. Nobody they were either all working or couldn't. So I sat my 14-year-old son down. I was like, hey, watch Terrifier 1 with me. Because I need someone to go with me to 2.
Yeah, but I think they're going to treat this one like a more legitimate movie. Keep it in theaters like a,
Oh, maybe they will, but either way, like it still makes sense because like to release it in
unexpected
October because
success of 2, yeah.
there's not. I guess just looking at it like from a purely business standpoint, there's not as much coming out in like the fall, but around Christmas time and the holidays, there's always a whole slate of movies you have to compete with. So that's probably the thought process. That's what I would imagine because there's all these holiday releases all the time.
But to go back to Beetlejuice, I do like what Michael Keaton's doing with the promotions and whatnot. Did like a fake Hot Ones, and it's Michael Keaton interviewing Beetlejuice. That was pretty funny. At the end of it, Beetlejuice like, "Just one question: who the fuck are you again?"
Well,
I'm sure he'll be good regardless, dude. If that movie,
Yeah,
what's the last thing he was
it's gotta
in?
be worth it
Spider-Man?
just to see him.
No, he's been in things since then. The last thing he was in was Multiplicity.
Multiplicity.
Yeah.
I forgot about that movie.
Don't forget about Multiplicity.
It's weird when I think of Michael Keaton, I think of that cover, even though I do not remember the movie at all.
Of Multiplicity?
Yeah. I don't know why.
I love Multiplicity.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a scene where what's his name plays Art. Got like sick.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a cut scene though, wasn't it? Wasn't it cut?
No. He's hoping that on like a DVD release or Blu-ray release, whatever.
So it was cut.
No, he's hoping there's the bloopers where it shows him gagging.
Oh, so the scene is actually in it.
The scene's
Okay.
actually in it. Yeah,
Yeah, he was like, about to puke and shit.
Yeah. So it made Art,
made
this
him.
scene made Art sick. It's going to be insane.
So I'm pretty sure. I don't think they killed Chris Jericho's character.
He's supposed to be in it.
Yeah, I want to see Art put him in the walls, like put him in his own wrestling hold, rip his legs off, and then I want to see Jericho start crawling away, and then Art just beat him to death with his legs that he ripped off. Just because that would be funny to me.
Well, I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Nipples hard. I don't see him poking through your shirt. You lying to
I'm
us?
wearing this black shirt with all this really cool design. You know, this King Gizzard shirt. So it's like you can't really see them, but they are. They could cut diamond right
They
now.
are extremely painful.
They feel like they're about to pop off.
Yeah, it's a medical condition. Can't get too excited about anything.
My nips are about to pop off, popping off. You know what I mean?
Nips is popping off.
Yeah, outside of that, though, man, I don't really know about too many movies coming out currently, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really keep up with a whole lot of movies anymore.
I don't either. I try not to watch trailers because they'll either spoil everything or lie to you, mostly if it's based off if it's not a new idea, you know.
I just thought about something which y'all might be interested in and watch it. It's free to watch if you have I have an Amazon Prime, but
It's free to watch if you have money.
if not, you can probably rent it on there or find it somewhere else. But you know the dude Onyx, the fortuitous,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
the
internet dude, Bowser
YouTube
Vids or
guy,
whatever.
I don't
Bowser.
know.
He just made a movie called Onyx the Fortuitous and the something of Souls.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called exactly right now, but he went about it the right way. Unlike AVGN, which the AVGN movie was all right, but it was like kind of weird in the way that like he added a bunch of characters that never existed in the AVGN movies and like that are supposed to be his friends and all this shit. It was just weird. Like anyway, it's actually like a good production. He has a lot of good actors in it. He has Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs in it.
Nice.
Barbara Crampton plays his mom. And what is this guy's name? Like Bartok or what the hell is it? Like I'll look it up real quick. But anyway, he's like this goth guy. He's like a nerd. He's
Does he work at the house the beef
he
built?
follows, yes, Bartok the Great is his idol. And it's this guy who's like this Satanist. And he's like released, apparently over the years, he's like released all these records of music and like all these books. And he supposedly knows how to do all these rituals and stuff. And he enters this contest and he gets to go to his mansion and be a part of this ritual that's supposedly summoning Abaddon the demon.
Okay.
And like, Bartok the Great is played by Jeffrey Combs, and
That's awesome.
he's like bald, and he's got knocked my water over. He's bald, and he has these like great big bushy eyebrows and this goatee and an eye patch.
I don't know.
And I haven't
Man,
finished
already,
it.
yeah.
I was watching it because my kids were asleep, and of course they couldn't watch it with me, and they woke up, so I just
This
watched.
is on
like,
Amazon Prime?
Yes.
And it's ready. Hell yeah.
and,
All right.
and I'm about to finish it whenever I can when kids aren't here.
Yeah, I got that.
But it started out pretty well. Like it's pretty cool. Like they walk into his mansion when they get the invitation or whatever, and he's like laying on the floor dead. And they watch this TV comes on. And they watch this video, and he's like, "You have to chant." He's like, "Unfortunately, I'm dead." And he's like, "You have to do this chant or whatever." And they bring him back to life, and he like wakes up. He's like, "Oh," and he pulls the knife out of his chest, and like it's just over the top, stupid like Satan worship, like,
I don't know.
but like it looks like it's going to turn out to be cool because I think I've seen a preview and there's like the demon or whatever, and I think it's like real cool practical effects.
I don't know.
And like, plus he's pretty funny. I like the Onyx character.
I don't know. That's what he does.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Yeah. When he goes on his little rants, not really a rant, but he gets excited.
I don't know. Arby's is pretty cool. I thought it was real for the longest time.
Oh, the very
That was
first
a real interview.
one they like, the Arby's one. It was like one of the first things he did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Besides that, I'm going to finish that film. I'll give you a full review next time, unless y'all have already seen it. Then y'all don't need a review.
No,
but the listeners would
I
like a
can
review.
watch it.
Yeah, remind me to watch it, and we can totally talk about it next time. But
Let's all watch it.
speaking of Barbara Crampton, but like,
Just cramping yourself.
and
Ooh.
a shitty movie she actually did recently, which is kind of weird because most of the Barbara Crampton's in I like. Did you all see Suitable Flesh? It's based off an H.P. Lovecraft story.
That wasn't any good?
It was
Wasn't Heather
recent.
Graham in it?
Yeah, it was recent. It's fucking terrible, dude.
Is it a recent Lovecraft story?
No, well, it's a recent movie based off a Lovecraft story. Like, it's based off the thing on the doorstep. Oh, dude, it's garbage. It's like a 13-year-old wrote it, and like there's like these weird sex scenes. It's like what a preteen or like just new teen things like. This is hot. Shit like that. Like Heather Graham's in it. You know, you see Heather Graham's tits. That's always nice. But at the same time, it's just, dude, it's bad. One of the lines at the end of the movie.
Nice and familiar with those tit tags.
One of the lines toward the end of the movie, and I feel like I don't know why they left it in because I feel like they had to have reversed it. A guy's talking to Barbara Crampton's character. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, that this happened to her. I know you guys were close. You were like sisters." Barbara Crampton goes, "We were closer than sisters. We were friends." Shouldn't it have been that? Like, shouldn't it have been the opposite? Like, I know you guys were really close friends. We were closer than friends. Like,
And that wasn't intentional?
I don't know, because it's like, why did they put that in there? It's one of the last lines of the movie too, dude. That is one of the last lines. That's one of the last things uttered in that fucking movie, and it blows your fucking mind. You're just sitting there like,
Is it a so bad it's good type of movie?
if you want to get stoned out of your mind and make fun of it with somebody else, yeah, watch it. Don't buy it. I think Shudder did it, which Shudder's really hit and miss with me, man. Like, they've had a couple of good originals that I've seen, but
Late
also,
Night with the Devil.
Castle Freak?
It's great.
was that them? I didn't think that was Shudder.
Maybe it wasn't. It was on Shudder.
Barbara Crampton.
It was exclusive to Shudder for a while.
But Barbara Crampton produced that, and that was really good.
Yeah, I found a DVD copy of that recently and got it.
Oh yeah, that's the first.
I didn't
time
ever see it anywhere.
Oh, I had it on.
I got a used DVD copy of
I've
it.
got
I
on
can't even
DVD.
remember where.
I think I bought it from Walmart, actually.
It was there?
Either that or got
Yeah,
it
what
from
Michael just said he
I
got
got
a
Terrifier 2
Terrifier 2
at Walmart.
there. I was like, I'm surprised that was there.
Best Buy or Target or something. But yeah, I've had that for a while. That one was great, but geez, Suitable Flesh sucks. But I don't know, man.
It's suitable.
Yeah. I've talked about it a few times. I feel like Shudder's kind of a fucking ripoff. Like, it does have the Last Drive-In which is great, but their horror movie selection is just, it's ass, dude. I've got a better horror movie collection than they've got in their entire library. Like, they've got a few good movies.
They got a lot of good old stuff.
Some, but
And a
like,
lot of Japanese
some of the stuff I want to see isn't there, dude. Like, Near Dark was there, which that's great. Like, but I finally found a copy of Near Dark.
The vampire movie?
Yeah, I love that movie. That movie's great. And I'm glad somebody has that. They have the Quetzalcoatl movie. That was good.
Oh,
I forget what they called that, though.
why can't I remember the name of that movie? I see it all the time. The Winged Serpent?
Yeah, that was good. I don't think they had The Stuff, which that annoyed me, but I have a copy of the stuff now. I'm not sure they've got Society. I don't think they have
Society was on there for a while.
Was it? I don't think they have Life Force. Like there's a lot of movies I was hoping would be on there that you don't see.
Oh my god. On Amazon, have you seen Inseminoid?
No.
You need to watch it. It's pretty good. It's crazy. The woman playing the one that like gets impregnated by the alien.
Yeah.
She does a great job, like being fucking weird and like it's like controlling her and shit and like, yeah,
Does a great job.
it's pretty
being
cool.
pregnant.
Inseminoid, check it out. Check it out.
All I'm saying is to put a button on that.
Inseminoid.
Do better, Shudder, because I want to like you.
I got rid of it a while back, and like I every once in a while I get it back so I can watch Joe Bob,
Yeah,
and then I get rid of it again.
which that's cool, but that's like all. That's pretty much all they've got, dude.
Yeah, Creep Shows went downhill.
Yeah, I tried to watch a little bit of that. I watched the
Did
one
it?
that Raimi did. I watched the Evil Dead episode. That was fun.
Oh yeah, with the Bob Ross type painter guy.
Yeah, that was good.
That was like 2021. So
The first season and the second season are pretty good. The first season's pretty solid. Second season's pretty good, kind of hit and or miss. And then season 3, I don't know. And I don't know if there's a season 4. I think there is.
I'm sure there's.
But I'm pretty sure, like, I've seen a lot of people talking about thinking the budget went down a lot for it too, because there's no more like animatronic
yeah.
practical creep anymore. It's all animated, and which I think is like, that's whack, because I loved that practical creep they were using.
it's great. All he does is laugh. Just,
And do like weird ass, he's like doing some weird ass shit, like doing for the Halloween episode with the trick or treaters that are ghosts or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like doing the jack o' lantern and he puts somebody's eyeballs in it and like, yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, all right. We're probably about at the end of it, bros. So
Inseminoid.
yeah, check it out.
That was
classic.
That was
Made in
Domino's
the
worst
80s.
mascot. Inseminoid.
Domino's.
Made in
30 minutes or it's cream.
Avoid the Inseminoid.
It was the prototype for the Noid.
Inseminoid.
Every 100th pizza is K-Man. If you notice, free pizza for life.
If you notice.
Ugh.
If you don't, ugh.
If you don't, enjoy.
Oh man, this pizza's extra saucy.
I didn't order anchovies.
I love this.
Oh.
What's that swimming on my pizza? It's delicious.
Swimming.
Oh, shit. All right, guys. I guess we'll end this one
Bye.
on that note with the Inseminoid pizza. But all right, guys. See you next time.